Good afternoon. Well, from naked ladies back to talking about some people that are no longer with us from the senior center. Don and I spent the afternoon at the senior center, played lots of cards, had a good meal. Beautiful place. A real blessing to all us old folks here in the Douglas, Kansas area. Wish we had something as nice in Yuma, and maybe we do. I don't know. The one or two times we've gone, we weren't impressed. But it's a much bigger community. Wouldn't have the sense of camaraderie that you find here among these rural people where we all share the same little town. Little town compared to Yuma, Arizona. John RENFRO. From the time I first began to go to the senior center and watch the big boys play pool, I knew that John RENFRO was something else as a pool player. Well, as I got to know him better, I also found out that John RENFRO had been in a bad accident as a young person, lost a leg. And here he is, the pool player of the senior citizens. Well, he and Roy Penner had many ago that they were really well matched. So he and Roy Penner were the two best pool players I saw there. Although a fellow named Ralph from down at Rock, Kansas, which is a little bit to the south of Douglas on Highway 77, Ralph also very good. Not, in my opinion, quite as good as Mr. Penner and Mr. RENFRO. I suppose John was extremely patient with me because I was one person that would come early and play with him before lunch started. To my advantage. I enjoyed playing, and I could certainly learn some things watching him. And although he beat me unmercifully most of the time, once in a while I'd win. Used to think maybe he always threw the game, but once in a while he'd say, "You have your eye today." Once in a while I'd shoot pretty good. Most of the time, no. John was so strong, so healthy. When he broke the balls on the pool table, it was an absolute shock to me to see how strong he would pop that pool ball into the rack of balls. In fact, you wanted not to be on the other end of the table because once in a while the cue ball would go over the top and come zooming at you. What a shock to come back this year and see Mrs. RENFRO, Frances, and say, "Where's John?" And have her quietly say, "Well, John died this winter." Darn, darn, darn. But time marches on. But one of the things that's very noticeable at the senior center right now is that there's not much pool playing at all. It used to be while the rest of us played cards, John and two or three would be back there playing pool. But with Polly and Merlin Ward not able to come here right now, because most of the time that pool table just sits with the cover on it. Time or two I've gone in early and uncovered it, and somebody will come in and play a game with me. Planned to do that today, but the nurse was there taking blood pressures, so Don and I got in line to see what the blood pressure was. Hers is a little high, mine was 102/50 something. I commented to the nurse, said, "I guess that's good." She said, "That's good as long as you're not dizzy." Well, once in a while I'm dizzy. So I guess I'm not Dizzy Dean the baseball pitcher, but on occasion I'm Dizzy Dean from the blood pressure getting just a little too low. And sometimes when it's really low like that, I'm a tired turkey, don't have much energy. Well, Donna's calling to me. It's Thursday, and not only a day that we get to go to the senior center and eat and play lots of cards, it's also in Douglas, Kansas, when the farmer's market's on, and the guys are there and set up, and she wants to get there and get the best of the tomatoes. I love tomatoes just as much as he does. So, adios. We're on our way.